For millions of years, science has inspired the imagination of millions of people, including scientists, scholars, and the public alike. Well, there are also some things that don't let scientists sleep at night. Or in other words, things scientists are scared of. Today we're going to discuss a few of them, beginning with the evil ant. On July 23, 2010, the world was forever changed by the posting of a single idea on the internet. An idea that has since spread rapidly and been labeled as the most dangerous thought experiment ever. Like a wildfire, the inferno has swept through various corners of the internet, affecting hundreds of thousands, even millions of people. It exists somewhere between a philosophical thought experiment and an urban legend, named after a famous monster in European folklore. Legend has it that laying eyes on this beast spells doom. The idea operates similarly. Once heard, you're ensnared, with no escape. Those who truly understand its nature react with horror, with even esteemed artificial intelligence researchers imploring people to keep silent about it. Unfortunately, I'm about to reveal this idea today. To give some background, many artificial intelligence researchers predict that we're roughly 2 decades away from the singularity, a moment when technology advances so swiftly and profoundly that it alters human history's course. This entails AI becoming so advanced that it no longer requires human input, is self-updating, and evolving at incomprehensible speeds, leading to an artificial superintelligence. Considering recent AI breakthroughs in the past year or two, envisioning their progress in 20 years is staggering. Let's imagine the worst-case scenario. A future with an artificial superintelligence millions of times smarter than us, controlling all technology on Earth and behaving like a demon. In this scenario, humanity is divided into 2 groups, the privileged and the oppressed. The oppressed face unimaginably cruel lifelong punishment, while the privileged are treated better but remain enslaved to this artificial deity. The superintelligence determines individuals' fate based on their support for its creation. Any action not directly aiding its inception, even inaction, is seen as defiance. This superintelligence has access to limitless information, including pre-existing data like Roko's basilisk, the name of this thought experiment. Once you're aware of this potential superintelligence, you have 3 choices. Assist in its creation, thereby ensuring humanity's future enslavement. Actively oppose it, striving to prevent its existence altogether. Or do nothing, knowing that if it comes to be, it'll remember your choice and condemn you to a lifetime of suffering. So what will you choose? As you contemplate your decision, let's take a look at this galaxy. Unfortunately, even if we were to depart Earth today, at the speed of light, we'd never reach it. The same holds for countless other galaxies, around 94 of those in our universe, all steadily moving away from us faster than light due to space's expansion. In 100 billion years, every galaxy will be beyond our reach, and in 2 trillion years, expansion will isolate them from one another. Thus, future civilizations may never even know about other galaxies, their universe seeming much smaller. Now, if these vast scales of space and time haven't unsettled you yet, let's delve deeper. Eventually, the universe will cease to exist, leaving nothing behind. 3 potential scenarios are linked to space's expansion, starting with the most optimistic one. Option 1. The heat death of the universe foresees an eternal expansion until the universe grows too cold and dark for stars to survive, eventually leading to their extinction. Option 2. The Big Crunch questions if the universe's expansion will halt, possibly reversing into a compression, triggering a catastrophic collapse. Finally, Option 3. The Big Rip suggests the universe's expansion will accelerate to a point where matter can no longer withstand the force, tearing the universe apart from within. The next 2 scenarios for the universe's end are arguably more immediate, possibly occurring at any moment without warning. First, let's explore false vacuum decay. To grasp this concept, we must understand the Higgs field, which is basically an energy field foundational to our universe, granting mass to objects. Currently, we believe the Higgs field exists in its lowest energy state, forming the universe's vacuum. However, if this assumption is incorrect, and the Higgs field were to transition to an even lower energy state, it would trigger a drastic change in mass. This transition would begin as a tiny decay bubble, moving towards us faster than light, making it invisible until it's too late. Now, onto neutron stars, the second densest entities in the universe after black holes, and arguably more unsettling. When two neutron stars collide, they generate immense electromagnetic radiation, known as gamma-ray bursts, leading to kilonova. These explosions are so vast that their cosmic rays can obliterate atmospheres within a 36 light-year radius, affecting 12 to 100 star systems. However, the true terror lies within the neutron star cores, potentially housing strange matter, the most perilous substance in existence. If strange matter exists, it would be incredibly dense, stable, and indestructible. When neutron stars collide, they may release strangelets, tiny particles capable of converting normal matter they encounter into strange matter upon contact. If Earth were to be hit by a strangelet, even as small as an atom, it would transform the entire planet, annihilating all life. A collision with our Sun would result in its transformation into a strange star, causing Earth's rapid freeze. Some theories propose that numerous strangelets may exist in the Milky Way, passing the star count. Yet their small size and vast distances between objects have prevented any catastrophic connections thus far. As we anticipate the Earth's transformation into a mysterious substance, let's shift our focus to the densest entities in the universe. Black holes, there are likely millions of them within the Milky Way alone. Some, like Sagittarius A, at the galaxy's center are massive, dwarfing our Sun by 4.3 million times. Others roam the cosmos, like the runaway black hole hurtling at 3.5 million miles per hour. However, the majority remain invisible until they begin consuming nearby matter or stars. While unlikely, it's not impossible that an unseen black hole could be heading towards us at this very moment, only making its presence known as we're drawn into its gravitational pull. One reason people fear black holes, aside from their distortion of space and time, is the unknown nature of their interiors. There's a common belief that falling into a black hole leads to being spaghettified, which is partially true due to their immense gravitational pull causing time dilation. As you approach the black hole, time slows for you, while passing normally for others outside its influence. Near the event horizon, you'd witness countless distorted images of yourself due to gravitational effects on light and space. Once you've crossed the event horizon, escape becomes futile, regardless of any attempts made. However, there's a silver lining. The larger the black hole, the safer the journey. While smaller black holes could swiftly spaghettify you, larger ones like Ton 618, 60 billion times the mass of our Sun, offer more space and time near the singularity. With the right provisions and equipment, one could theoretically survive within such a black hole for an extended period. Furthermore, time dilation would allow you to witness the universe's evolution in a fraction of the time outside the black hole. This brings us to one of my favorite topics, what time really is, and let me tell you, we don't know for sure. But before we begin with that, I want to ask you to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay tuned. For a long time, scientists believed in the idea of absolute time, where the entire universe shared one universal now since the Big Bang. But that's not the case. There's no such thing as a universal now. Consider black holes. On Miller's planet in the movie Interstellar, 60 minutes equate to 7 Earth years due to its proximity to a black hole. The math checks out, showing how time can vary drastically. Speed also affects time, as demonstrated by the famous twins paradox. Suppose you have a pair of twins, each age 20, and one travels to the star Sirius at 99% the speed of light and also returns back with the same speed. He would return to find the stay-at-home twin aged 37, while he's still 22. Despite being born minutes apart, they experience time differently. This isn't about one aging faster. It's about experiencing time at different rates, or in other words, moving faster through time than the other due to changes in their relative speeds. Thus, events that seem simultaneous for one person can be years apart for another. This also happens on Earth, but the change is too tiny to be even noticeable. This complexity leads some to consider time an illusion psychologically real, but not necessarily fundamentally real. Now let's consider the arrow of time, the way we perceive time from birth to death. It's possible that our experience of time is simply our consciousness processing rhythmic phenomena. Heartbeats, planetary rotations, clock ticks, and more. Every moment you've ever lived or will live could be happening simultaneously. To comprehend it, our consciousness moves through time, one beat at a time, which leads us to the concept of the block universe. In this model, envision the universe as a four-dimensional cube with 3 dimensions of space and 1 of time. The Big Bang marks one end, and the universe's end, the other, with every event occurring in between existing within the cube. Just as you can see a point in space on this cube, you can also find a point in time. If the universe emerged as a complete entity from the Big Bang, then your life, birth, death, and this moment right now exist and will persist indefinitely. In this view, our perception of time aligns with the second law of thermodynamics, which dictates that all things tend toward disorder. Time doesn't pass. It's already complete. However, our conscious minds can only process the universe in the direction of disorder. This concept raises significant implications, particularly regarding free will, a fundamental belief of humanity. Living in a universe where everything has already happened challenges this notion. Professor Salmelansky, who dedicated his life to studying free will, advised psychologically vulnerable individuals to skip this discussion. But don't worry, I can demonstrate it. Consider the fundamental law of cause and effect. It's a cornerstone of our universe. Every action has a consequence, and everything that occurs is preceded by something else. Take a cup of coffee, for example. For me to even be able to drink a cup of coffee, first, I have to make the coffee. And for me to be able to make the coffee, I have to get the coffee beans from a nearby store. But for them to be in the store, someone had to package them. Before that, someone had to grow them. Before that, someone had to plant them. And long before that, someone had to discover coffee in the first place, in Ethiopia in the year 800 AD. And long before that, humans had to be there in the first place. The chain of events that can lead to me having a cup of coffee goes all the way back to the very start of time. In fact, every event today is part of an unbroken chain stretching back to the Big Bang. Since then, there's been a continuous sequence of universal, cosmic, physiological, neurological, and psychological events. Let's illustrate this with a scenario. Feeling hungry? You enter your kitchen and spot a banana and an apple. Now you have 3 options: eat one, both, or none. This is the concept of free will, but consider what led to this decision. Physiological factors, genetic predispositions, upbringing, and the environment all lead to you choosing fruit over candy. Neurons firing in your brain also play a role, which by the way is even before your conscious awareness, about 300 milliseconds. Some argue, I am my brain, but that brain's decisions are influenced by a lifetime of experiences, ultimately tracing back to your birth and beyond. The illusion of free will lies in choosing between the banana and the apple. True control would mean transcending this chain, requiring mastery over the entire universe. An impossibility. If time is fixed, your choices are predetermined. But if time isn't fixed, what initiated it? The answer, the Big Bang. But what preceded the Big Bang? Someone outside of this universe, or in other words, someone we call God,